First off, I want to say I need to clear my head and try to think this way through, because this is it. We are finally here, and they are not trolling. Sunrise, BNP Pictures, and Hideaki Soroichi are not trolling us this time. This is it. We're at the last leg of a long roller coaster ride. We are at the Silver Soul arc, the same name within the manga, and today I come to you with the first episode of this final arc of Gintama 2018. I'm excited, but at the same time, I am deeply saddened that this series is going to end. Now, this is the same name as in the manga, and the manga is further ahead, so the manga is going to conclude, which we thought was going to conclude back in 2017, but more than likely is going to conclude within this year. I'm not, like I said before many times, I'm not trying to rush it, but I do think Gintama may end before fall. I'm betting my money on that it may end before fall, the manga, and then the anime will continue to catch up until the very finale. But nonetheless, this episode basically showed us everything that we love about Gintama. The comedy and the action and the feels and everything just combined into one happened in this episode. Like, you cried at one moment because it's like, my God, we're at this point. And also you laughed your butt off because there were several hilarious moments within this episode. So what I liked what they did with this first episode of the Silver Soul arc is they kind of refreshed our memories, because a lot of stuff has happened. And do not take Popori arc as, they jump right into this arc. Popori arc, remember, it was supposed to happen during the 2015 run, but of course they never animated that. So basically, Silver Soul follows right after the Rakio arc that happened the same time last year, in 2017. So this arc follows it, and they basically just refreshed our memories from the Shogun assassination arc to the farewell Shinsengumi arc to the revealing of Yutsuro, the death of Oboro, and everything that has transpired since then, and also Kagura going back to her home planet to deal with her family's past and their fort. So now we have where there is a lot of forces, but there's two big forces playing in this. There is the Liberation Army and the Liberation Agency. The Liberation Army is just basically a lot of space pirate thieves and thugs that decided to go down to Earth, because what happened was, I believe it was the Liberation Agency that shot down on the Altana Tower, the big tunnel, and basically shattered it and broke it. So there's no way that other planets or even the agency is able to get to the Altana from Earth. So what happened was, the Liberation Army decided to come to Earth and so-called protect it, but that is not the case. They're just like big bullies trying to show off their power and, cause the humans to cower back in fear. But, our main setting is in Kabukicho, so that's the worst place the Liberation Army wants to be in out of all of Edo and all of Japan. So we see where everybody is just trying their best to cope with this, because it reminds them of 20 years prior to the storyline when the Yamato first came to Japan, and they did the ban on swords and all of that stuff had happened, and we got up to this point in the storyline. Of course, they started off with Hasagawa, which we thought he was given like a very good speech about basically not giving up. Like, no matter how much despair we are in, you cannot give in that easily. Just to show that he's been trying to get money. At first it seemed funny because it's like, he's poor, and then he's scourging around for little pennies or nickels, just to find out that he's been going around Kabukicho, going around Edo, searching for pennies, even to the point where he's being ridiculed by the Liberation Army, where they spit on the money that they gave him, making him look lower than what he actually is. He is Madaho, so forgive me. Still a cool Madaho nonetheless. He was actually getting money to send a request to Oddjobs because nobody knows when they were coming back from Rakio's planet. So everybody was sending requests like Tama, Otase, Ote, Hasagawa, Sachan, Tsukio. All these characters were sending in request letter for Oddjobs to come back and help them in their time of need. Then the coolest part was Hasagawa wore the same uniform that we first saw him in before he lost his job. And remember, he was an immigration bureau officer for the Amantos and the humans, and for them to like co-live with each other. And he tried to act cool in front of these kids, giving this inspirational speech and all that, just to find out that he just got his butt kicked and was going to be dragged and be put in a cell and tortured until Oddjobs come in and they are saving the day. Then they start playing that background song, the same song that was used the first time I believe we heard it was during Gintoki versus Nizu, during the Benizakura arc. That same OST, when they start playing that, the tears just start dropping down because I'm like, they're back. They are back. Because even though the Popori arc was fun because we got the comedy and everything, we really haven't seen them in action for basically a whole year. So to see that they're finally back from the Rakio planet back to Earth to save Earth, it was just an amazing moment. And then they decided to play the opening right then and there because it was kind of strange that they didn't play the opening in the beginning or even say after 2 to 3 minutes, but they played it during like the 14, nearly 15-minute mark. Now, I enjoyed both the opening and ending in terms of their visuals, but in terms of the song, I had to give it for the ending by Burnout Syndrome. That song, they're the same band that also did Haikyuu. I love that song that they play. I forgot what it was called. And also the visual, it looks more like hand drawn, and then they computerize it, but it just showed everybody that died throughout the series, important people that has died through the arcs, whether it was 2-episode arc or longer than that, up until this very point. That ending was just really, it was really on point, and the song wasn't bad either. It's going to take time for me to get used to the opening, but visually it's really good. And also it's kind of, I mean, every opening that you see kind of gives in spoilers, but this is a lot of spoilers. But if you're an anime only, you won't know what's going to happen. But nonetheless, Oddjobs has come back, and we come to find out that Nobunobu is going to talk to the Liberation Army in negotiation, and also he has Katsura and Sakamoto as his, his guards in order to talk to the Liberation Army in hopes that they take back their forces from Earth and, not cause any more disturbances towards the humans there. Not only that, we saw several familiar faces that we haven't seen since way back in season 1. And from the Bazaar, we saw Prince Hata. We haven't seen him in forever. And when I start hearing his theme song, I'm like, I know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to say anything. But I was so happy to see this guy. It was just so nice to finally see him hundreds of episodes later. And we also saw Saigo. We haven't seen him since the 4 Davis arc. We haven't seen Katsuo since the 4 Davis arc. And it's really awesome to see all these characters who we haven't seen for hundreds of episodes, hundreds of chapters, finally come back for this huge finale. And this is what Hideaki Soroichi was doing, and this is what I love about him. He gives everyone depth to their character, and when we think we won't see them again, he always brings them back for the most important parts of the story. And you're going to see what these characters are going to do. You're going to be pretty excited of what these characters are going to dish out for this final arc. So if you saw Gintama Silver Soul arc episode 1, do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about this episode. How do you feel now that Gintama is in its last run? Like I said earlier in the review, first impression, It is not a troll. This is for real. This is it. This is the last of Gintama, and I don't know how much episodes we're going to have. I do think we may have more than 50 episodes. I can't say for sure until they update it soon enough with the information. But also, were you surprised to see several characters that you haven't seen in a long time actually reappear again for the first time in a long time? And what are you expecting? I'm asking this for anime onlys. What are you expecting out of this arc? And for manga readers, no spoilers, but how do you feel about this episode? What were your thoughts on it? And tell me how you felt about the opening and ending. And also do check out the links in the description box as well. And I'm Kimi-chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye.